So the Literacy Challenge, that was 2023. 2024, we started accepting entries from JHS pupils. So if you haven't submitted or if you've not heard about it, then you should join this conversation. I've been joined by Head of Programs Production here at ChannelOne TV, Apioko. I'm loving these glasses.
Thank you.
And you should have added that Jude's favorite up.
And I got Eno's memo.
We're greening up
I
this
feel
set.
you. I missed out on it, but that's okay. Maybe some other
it's
time.
fine. It's
Next
fine. Next time, pay attention.
I will admit.
Lovely set you have here. It's great to
Thank
be
you
on
so
Sunday
much.
It's
Thank
great
you so
having you too.
much. Thank you so much. Welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Should be serving you some tea and some English breakfast.
So where is it?
We'll get it sorted for you.
Sorry, when you're
Pretty
done
short.
and you leave,
Pretty
you can
short.
have some
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, right? Let's talk about Literacy Challenge.
Absolutely.
What at all is Literacy Challenge?
So, we started this Literacy Challenge in 2017. For many years with City FM, our sister radio station, we had been doing something called the Right Away Contest.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we're asking young people between the ages of 9 and 14 to write essays. And we feel that, look, you would attest to it, for the work that you do, communication is important. And
Right.
that's not just communicating orally, but communicating on the page, written communication. And we said, look, if we can encourage young people to write, then we can build a generation of people. In New York City, we always have a way of doing things, our city and our Channel One. We do everything with
city style.
The city style is to have the nation in mind,
Right.
right? So if we kickstart this thing, it creates a wave, it creates a national conversation, and then we start paying attention to how we train our young people in their communication, because communication takes you far, regardless of which sector you work in, you operate in. You need to be able to communicate both on paper and orally. So that was, the idea. But beyond that, there are also a lot of young people who are talented writers. And we had not really, as a country, we're still struggling with it, created a clear pathway for a young person who says, I am good at writing, I enjoy writing, and I want this to be my bread and butter. So we tell them, there's no money in writing, go and study something else, and then that's the end of the conversation. We said, no, if we can unearth some of these talents and put them out there, then just maybe we can chart a course for a future generation of writers. Then in 2017, you said, you know what, the world is changing, right? This is, middle of the first 20 years of the new millennium.
Right.
The world has changed. Social media, digital space is taking over. And in Ghana, unfortunately, we still think that literacy is just about reading and writing. But literacy is so much more than that. Now, when you say that somebody is literate, are they aware of their environment? Are they aware of their history, their heritage, their culture? Are they aware of their place in society, but also their place in the world? The reason why we talk about Ghana, cocoa, gold, all that, what does that mean economically? Yes, for the nation, but even for you and your responsibility as a citizen to make sure that you contribute your quota to your nation, but on the global scale, as a Ghanaian and as Ghana, you have a role to play. And then, of course, there's a technology conversation. Are you literate with digital tools, social media platforms, the tools that can make work easier so that you work smarter and not necessarily harder without getting any results? So all these things came up, and we said, look, that means that the 21st century kind of person we are looking at, the global citizen, the world knows now, needs to be versatile. Are our young people versatile? Are we giving them the education, the resources, the access, the opportunity to create versatile people who can do versatile things anywhere in the world and compete with their compatriots? We were not seeing much of that.
Absolutely.
So again, City FM,
Channel
ChannelOne
One.
TV.
Doing
Let's do magic and show people what we should be doing, what is possible. So the Literacy Challenge was born in 2017. That's on 3 levels. So level 1 is an essay competition. So we didn't throw away the initial essay writing component of what we're trying to put out there. So it's an essay competition. We put out a topic, and the topics, sometimes they are very creative. Other times they are very social and community development driven. But we get young people who are JHS students to write. Why JHS students? As we're saying that by the time a young person in Ghana is in JHS or its equivalent, educational system, they are thinking a certain way, they have certain perceptions, they observe at a certain level, and so they can speak to certain issues. But they are also impressionable enough if they go through a mill like the Literacy Challenge to come out, wear those colors, and then do something great for themselves and then for the space that they find themselves in. So the Literacy Challenge is for JHS students. Now, level 1, you write the essay based on the topic. After the entries come in, we have external examiners led by Anis Hafa, who is a distinguished Ghanaian educationist, been teaching for many, many years.
I can imagine.
Many years.
I heard about Anis Hafa when I first wrote some opinion to the junior graphics some time ago.
Long time ago.
You're a published writer.
He is a published writer.
He just dropping.
I don't want to expose my age, but that was many years ago. And he's still Anis Hafa. Incredible stuff.
He is. And he has been very instrumental, even helping us discuss and how we fashion these things. Because you need to. We work with a lot of educational experts. We study the curriculum just to make sure that you're also not, thinking that you are doing something which is already happening, one, but then also making sure that when the young people come, we know how to supplement through the challenge what they're doing. So anyway, Anis and his team take these entries, hundreds of them. They grade them. You're looking at mechanical accuracy, your spelling, your grammar, your punctuation, very important. Where there's supposed to be a comma, is there a comma? Where there should be a semicolon, is there a semicolon? If you're using points of ellipsis, are they there? Those what we call ... Today, if you don't know, they are called points of ellipsis. Yes, points of ellipsis.
Too much happy.
It means that when you put the 3 dots there, it's elliptical. Other things, maybe there that you are not necessarily. She's studied English, so she knows what I'm talking about.
Interesting conversation so far, and a lot's happening. My concern is, now you're at an age where AI is everything, right? Is there anything in place to safeguard? Because some of these kids, they are already tech savvy.
Absolutely.
All of them holding tablets already.
Absolutely.
Are we putting measures in place to check that bit of it?
I'll tell you that we received some entries and straight away, even with our eyes,
you
we
could
can
tell.
See that. No, there are certain words that AI will use. Tapestry.
Yeah.
Woven into the fabric.
I know.
You use Beacon 10 times if you're using ChatGPT. You see them, but then you see also there's a huge psychology. We need to give our teachers respect. There's a huge psychology that sits behind what they do. So a teacher can tell how a student, and I'm talking about a teacher who is worth his or her salt. Before somebody says, my teacher didn't do that. But the teachers, and there are many of them across the country, many of them who have even trained us sitting here, when they look at something you've written, or they watch you speak, answer a question in class, they can read your psychology. You're not in a good mood. You are not in your right frame of mind. You're not confident.
And that's what they call pedagogy.
Pedagogy. And you see, every student, let me take you to the classroom.
Feel free.
Every human being has their own way of learning, a window through which you imbibe information. Right. So are you more visual?
I'm an audiovisual learner.
Are you more auditory? Do you need kinesthetics so that the kinesthetic learners, so there are these kids in class who will say, they are hyper. But if you really look into it, they just need activity. So after sitting down for 2 minutes, they need to jump around, they need to use their hands. That's just the way their brains work. And then you also have those who are just the silent listeners. They may not talk, but you talk for 10 minutes. They've heard everything and it will stick.
Can I just go ahead and just mention Judy Duncan?
Oh, please.
You can, feel free and go ahead and say
I
Judy
had a
Duncan.
like that, and so she liked it when I read to her notes. She'd just lie on her bed and I'd read her notes, and that was it. And that was someone who would score 100.
There you go.
So,
but you also have those who ask a lot of questions. So you think,
understand.
This child, or predudu, or in pain sen. But that's not it.
That's how they adapt.
So they hear something and they have to probe because there's a lot of curiosity sitting in their soul. If that curiosity is not satisfied, it will not manifest into knowledge gained. So you have all these people in a class, and when you write, all these things show
Sure.
through your writing.
Now,
Your thought processes, even the way and that's why we say write in your own handwriting for the literacy challenge.
Yeah.
People said, oh, you're talking about technology, why can't you type? The way you write, we can tell if you've been too cautious. The way your E morphs into your R. All those things, you'll be very surprised.
I
So
can imagine.
AI, dear, we are not afraid of it.
We have sorted it out there.
Having said that, it's not bad, and we're not discouraging young people from using the technology because we expect that if you've written an essay, you'd have researched, especially for the topic which we'll share shortly for this year. You'd have done your research. AI can help you do that. It can also help you structure your thought processes.
Yeah.
So you've thought about, I want to talk about education, I want to talk about agric, I want to talk about galamsey, I want to talk about AMA bylaws, I want to talk about this and that. So if you feed that into the chat GPT or whatever AI system you're using, it can help you to structure what you want to say. But then to copy it, ditto.
That is where we draw the red line.
And you see, there's another thing. There's something, as far back as when I was in high school, and now that software is even more advanced. Turnitin.com.
Yeah, I used it at university
level. There you go.
too. Yeah.
So I had to use it in high school because I wrote a long essay in high school. And Turnitin,
it's not even surprising. It's not even surprising, but yeah, go ahead.
So Turnitin will tell you the percentage of your text
that is
plagiarized that exists in the Internet of Things. So if you just, now look, if you take a picture of this script,
you can scan it and just run it through.
With Google Lens, it converts it into text, it's digital, run it through Turnitin, we'll know.
Wow. So you're saying, in effect, it's not necessarily bad if you use some of these artificial intelligence software to structure your thoughts, but just don't replicate it on it. Interesting. What's the feedback like? Or what's been the reaction going through the scripts?
Look, it's been massive. First of all, we have scripts from all over the country. And let me share the breakdown with you of the regions who have written so far.
Wow.
We've got hundreds of them, hundreds of them.
So across all 16 regions?
So we don't have from all 16 yet. So far, we have from the Central region, we have from Western North region, the Western region, the Northern region, Upper East, the Eastern region, our Greater Accra regional neighbors. Then we have the Greater Accra region, OT region, we have the Savannah region, and we have the Ashanti region. In fact, yesterday there was a contingency of teachers who had, so their counterparts are in Kumasi. So they went to receive entries, on their behalf, and they brought in 22 entries from Kumasi. Yes. So we have a regional spread, and it's great to see that it's not just children of Accra who are writing or interested in this, but it's children of Ghana. Because that's very important. The Literacy Challenge is a national competition.
I feel you. And I'm sure past winners have come from different parts of the country.
And I'll tell you about them
I can't wait.
I'm excited about the topic. So what's the topic for this year?
So it's very simple. And again, I'll read it out so that, we get it right. Okay, 1 second. But basically what we've asked the youth of Ghana to do is to have a voice. We are saying that in governance, and all the things that happen.
Can't be left to
the
older generation alone.
At all.
Everybody has a stake in it.
And there are statistics to prove that right now, our population is very young.
Yeah.
Very, very young. If we're saying the bulk of the population falls between the ages of 18 and 35, even I don't fall in that category because I'm 36.
I feel you. So the future really is now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to say that we say, the young people are our future.
The leaders.
The
future is now. Yeah.
We're seeing younger CEOs, younger middle-level managers,
totally agree with
younger entrepreneurs, business owners, younger artists. I went to the gallery 1957. There's an artist who's exhibiting there. She's 20 years old.
I can even resonate more with it because, if you're a football lover like myself, yesterday you are watching the Euros and you are watching boys under 22, under 25.
They're playing for nations.
Playing at the highest level for their countries, right? And you wonder how many 40-year-olds, 60-year-olds are doing anything for their country. So it's really incredible stuff.
So this is our topic. In not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana.
Actually, it's like a wow.
It doesn't end there. What changes would you like to see? and how can young people contribute to making them happen? So it's not just about, oh, this should change, but how are you going to get involved in the change?
Absolutely.
And you know, Channel One, what's our motto? We empower change,
Yeah,
right?
empowering change. You're telling your story
telling
and
your
empowering.
story.
No, I like how you fuse it in. That's really superb.
Let's read
Interesting.
some of the entries that we've received so
So
far.
I'm going to share a couple of them with you. I will start with this one. Okay. So let me start with this one. This one is from a young lady who goes to Tamaridge School. She's in JHS 1. All right, and her name is Anne. Okay, so here we go. Ghana, our beloved motherland, has been the envy of many nations, developed and developing countries alike. The plethora of natural resources, such as timber, gold, bauxite, manganese, just to name a few. One would not be far from thinking that Ghana should be the springboard for stupendous growth and development. But what is Ghana confronted with in reality? Our beloved motherland, Ghana, ironically, faces a cliche of developmental challenges, especially of leaders who do not take things too seriously. Our economic front is not doing too well. And people are holding the bull by the horn with a pinch of salt. The daunting task of rescuing Ghana from this embarrassing nosedive invariably now lies on the shoulders of the youth, where the next generation of leaders to solve the many challenges that we are confronted with so as to make a mark for Ghana to work again and indeed be the shining example she is largely recognized as. This is Nkrumah's Ghana. And below are a few thoughts I would like to share about how we can save her.
I mean, what an intro. What an intro.
I'm gobsmacked. Like, I can't even, I don't know if I could
JHS
pen down
1.
those words
JHS
when I was in
1.
JHS.
She's come to share a plethora.
Yes,
Actually.
JHS 1.
That's amazing.
So
Incredible.
she starts. First, I would like to focus on leadership and governance. The Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary defines leadership as, quote, the state or position of being a leader. Any person who leads a group of people, be it a nation, a community, or an organization, end quote. Governance, on the other side, is the activity of governing or controlling a country, an organization, or a community. This means that the youth have a wide range of spheres where they can make themselves useful so as to contribute positively in making impact, be it at the electoral level, communal level, district, constituency, regional, or the national level as a whole. Fortunately, the political landscape in Ghana has become wide enough to accommodate and encourage young participation at all levels. When the youth leverage on opportunities available in this area, they will be able to introduce new perspectives and fresh ideas as their contribution to policy direction, which will in turn shape the nation they want to see it in the future.
Wow.
The youth also have the option of joining or forming civil society groups where they can come on the front and provide more viable options on governance. What we do now can achieve the social economic impact for Ghanaians of the future. So that's the first part. Again, in the area of technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship, the youth have a great opportunity to cause a change in the manner in which businesses are run, agriculture is practiced, and how the entire labor force can leverage on existing technologies and through creativity can solve Ghana's challenges by creating innovative solutions and, in a nutshell, create jobs, drive economic growth, and benefit all and sundry.
Wow.
Technology is the application of scientific knowledge in the various fronts of human endeavor. Yes, it's how to, yes.
I mean, not to cut in, but we have to jump into the national swimming competition shortly, and we don't want to, give out all the... Yeah. So tell us, when's the deadline for submission?
So it's this coming Saturday, the next Saturday. Today is Sunday, the 7th. So the 13th in exactly 6 days. 13th of July is the deadline for submission of entries. So you don't have a lot of time, but it is enough time to write something.
I feel
Of
I
course,
feel definitely.
of course.
Definitely,
I
definitely.
certainly do not want to be one of the the judges who have to choose.
I mean, I don't
It's a lot
envy
of
your role
work.
at all in having to choose, because I can imagine the quality of work that's coming in.
And you see, from here we choose the top 50, and we have hundreds.
Yeah.
So we choose the top 50. They make it on to level 2,
Level
which
two.
is an aptitude test.
Aptitude test.
They sit down, they write a general knowledge paper,
Right.
which also involves a lot of practical things. You know, sometimes last year, for example, through DEX technology,
Yeah, the
assemble
science test.
I
the
remember that.
digestive
I remember
system
that.
and all that. And then after that, we have the top 10 who go on to compete in the grand finale. It's a live quiz, live here on
Yeah.
ChannelOne TV. So there's a lot to do, but the deadline is this Saturday. Now, if you want to submit your entry, you can bring it to the front desk of ChannelOne TV at Tesano in Accra, or you can take it to Adabraka. That's where we have City FM, number 11, Dr. Morton Loop, also in Accra. But if you're from beyond Ghana, because we've asked people to write out their essays in their own handwriting, you have to post.
Yeah.
So this is the postal address. It's P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. And if you're posting, it means you have to be posting in the next few days so that it can get to us
On
by the
time.
13th. I mean, luckily we're here 24 hours, so the deadline is 13 July, 11:59 p.m.
good. And
Once it hits midnight, it's
Yeah,
a 4
yeah,
days
out.
and we'll not
We're
work.
not accepting
I
it.
honestly think all of this is so worth it for 10,000 CDs.
It is.
And the bragging
It is.
rights of
It
being
is.
like, imagine
It
walking
is.
about
It
in
is.
Accra
It is.
and you are the smartest
Why must
JHS
it be
students.
Accra? A reigning champion.
The whole of the country, really.
I mean-
And you are the smartest JHS kids. So incredible stuff. Happy congratulations to you and the team. Amazing work you're doing.